So next email says, Dr. Shaddix, I wanted to reach out to you to say you've been a breath of fresh air by posting your videos on YouTube. I've been watching and learning since you started. On YouTube, I am redacted, and you might have seen some of my comments on your videos. I don't usually comment on live streams, but have sometimes commented after on these videos. I redacted a whole bunch of information here. I've always been fascinated with lawns. I worked for blank company as a field tech. Redacted a bunch of information here. While I was there and saw how this industry really works, and also was shocked by some of the things that I saw, there are two things in particular that always bothered me. That was dishonesty. First thing was that we were not using all the blank company's products to treat the lawns. We were a franchise on blank or in blank location. And at the time, only blank company and blank company were the main players. The bosses would make sure that the bags were not visible to the customers when applying back. When applying back then, only granular products were used for fertilizing, pre-emergence, and insects and fungus control. Weed control was liquid, and we would use a variety of products, but was watered down to prevent burning the lawn and to make the product last. The other thing we had to do during the winter months was sell our services on the phone. A bunch of stuff redacted here. I always hated that because I did not like to BS these people into believing what we were offering, and then I redacted some more. My lawn became my hobby, blank. I started watching YouTube, and there were only a few guys doing it back then. Even with some of the experience and knowledge I had acquired, I would always research how to care for a lawn. I would read articles from a local extension in blank. Somebody was very interesting to follow. My mistake was not just following him, but to follow the YouTube guys as well, and fell into that trap. I would try all the products that were offered, as well as reaching out to some of them for advice. It took a few years of trying different products and equipment, and plenty of unnecessary money spent trying to achieve the perfect lawn. The fact that you have started your channel and to educate people is truly heaven sent. No, it's not life and death, but knowing the truth about something helps make proper decisions. I commend you on your work, knowledge, and sharing your experience with the public. Hope your channel continues to grow, and wish you and your family a healthy, prosperous Christmas and New Year. Keep up the great work. So this particular gentleman, I wonder how many people have a similar experience as this particular guy, where you started watching YouTube videos, or you maybe started off trying to just figure out really what was true, right? What actually was happening, and what you really should be doing. And you ended up probably maybe on the right path, but kind of got stuck into a YouTube vortex. You got stuck in the YouTube, algorithm vortex of people putting out content just for the sake of putting out content and making a couple bucks on, a video that goes viral, regardless of whether the content in the video was actually true or not. And like I've said before, you hear the same thing over and over again, and eventually you're like, well, it must be true. So many people are doing it. Right. There's a lot of people doing this. It must work. Must be true. And, it's an easy trap to fall into. It really is. It's not, I'm new to YouTube. I haven't watched YouTube near as much as you all have, I'm sure, but there's a huge pile of excrement, that is hard to work your way through. And they're in there. There can be some truth. That's the hard part, is that there's some truth in there somewhere, probably, but to find your way through all that nonsense is not easy. And I don't know if maybe there's somebody else doing what I do. I don't know. Like I said, I'm new to it. I'm not real knowledgeable on everybody that's on YouTube, but I don't know of many, professors who spend their time doing what I do. And so there's probably not a lot of evidence-based information on YouTube relative to the amount of misinformation, So I bet it's probably a similar story to many of you, where, hey, you know what? I just wanted to learn more about it. And I looked at some extension bulletins, and I wanted to learn more. And I went to YouTube, and I learned how to change my spark plug on YouTube. So I want to learn how to take care of my lawn on YouTube, and so forth. And, you end up kind of getting caught in this vortex of misinformation, and you almost believe it's true, I'll just say that the more every now and then I fall into the trap of, I think I kind of got it figured out. I think I kind of got this area sort of figured out. And then inevitably every time without exception, somebody goes, well, you didn't see this guy's publication, or you didn't read that publication, or did you see his new publication on, weed control with ferrous sulfate or whatever. And I'm like, oh man, and I thought I had it figured out and I didn't. And so the Dunning-Kruger effect is real. I mean, you learn a little bit, you gain a little bit of competency, and your confidence skyrockets. And I'll just say this, the most knowledgeable, intellectual people that I know, soil mineralogists, I can think of one specifically who's now retired from UF, unbelievably intelligent, successful soil mineralogist, had no confidence. I'd come to him and ask him questions. He's like, well, I don't know. I'm not sure. And I think maybe that might be it. He was right. He was right every time, but he was never really sure, and he was one of the brightest soil mineralogists, 40 years in academia. And he was not really ever that confident, So it seems to me that the people that I'm familiar with and knock ideas off in the academic world, I don't know of many that are so bold that they would say they know the system and they know exactly what's going on. I mean, most of them aren't that way at all. Most of them are like, I don't know, maybe that's probably what's going on. I think I kind of have an idea. But then you go to YouTube and it's like, yep, do this. This is what's happening. Spray out iron sulfate, spread out iron sulfate, spread out organic materials in the middle of winter when your grass can't take it up. And this will work. And they just say it, because there's nothing stopping them. And I'm just saying, for me, this is turfgrass epistemology. How do we know that? How do we know what we know? I don't have hardly any confidence in things that I hear on YouTube about turfgrass. The confidence I gain is from spending my time in the library, not spending it on YouTube. Spend my time reading books, reading articles, writing articles, not listening to somebody that wants to make, $200-$300 on a video on YouTube because they want to, spray something on their lawn and say, look what I found or whatever. What they have might be true. Could be true. Could not be true. But it's just an observation. And that doesn't convince me even one iota, not even the slightest. It doesn't convince me at all what he's saying is true or false. And keep in mind, it could be true. I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying it doesn't convince me at all.